At Capella University, learning online doesn't mean learning alone. You'll get support from people who care about your success, like your enrollment specialist who gets to know you and the goals you'd like to achieve. You'll also get a designated academic coach who's with you throughout your entire program. Plus, career coaches are available to help you navigate your professional goals. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
'Tis the season of gifting and halls to deck, and the Who's and Who Newville were in love with new tech. Where can we find Sonos and Samsung and Nintendo, they shouted. Would they find it in one place? This they questioned and doubted. When suddenly a Who yelled, Walmart's the place to start! And each Who added headphones, TVs, and games to their carts. With Walmart, their shopping was done in a flurry. They cried out, "Who knew?" and ordered their gifts in a hurry. Shop the latest tech gifts in the Walmart app.
Get ready to shop Lowe's Black Friday doorbuster deals to save $150 on a 30-inch Blackstone griddle, now $299. Plus, choose a Whirlpool top-load washer or Midea top freezer refrigerator for just $398. These limited-time doorbuster deals go fast, so get holiday ready today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid 11/28 through 12/1. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Trojan family, what is going on? Welcome to the USC LAFB show. Tim Prangley, Ryan Dyrud from the Coliseum after the victory bell crosstown showdown. Your USC Trojans win 29-10. A ugly first half, lackluster first half, but yet another dominant second half performance gives the Trojans the win. Tim, you were down in the field taking photos, packed house. What was the atmosphere like?
Electric, and Riley talked about that. He said when he got here was that atmosphere wasn't here. He said, but now it's definitely here, and you just you felt it in the crowd. It was really loud, rock, especially in that fourth quarter and third quarter. Second half came alive. They were consistent. There were some delayed games, some false starts on a drive that really helped USC kind of slam the door on this game.
Yeah, 100%. I think the crowd was absolutely a factor in that fourth quarter, and it was just a fun. Like, it's the crosstown showdown, just a great rivalry game, and even with UCLA being, not a good football team this year, let's just put it like that. You knew they were going to come out and fight. You know it was going to be a battle. Rivalry games are always a different vibe, a different blend than just playing a bad football team. You see it. The Iron Bowl, Alabama barely beat Auburn. I don't know if you saw that final score. So rivalry games are just different. Let's start with the bad, and then we'll talk the good and the encompassing season. But another bad first half performance. Obviously, you have a weirder angle being down here, so you don't got to get too nitty gritty. But just what's going on in these first halves?
Well, not having Lane and Lemon in that game in the first quarter did help slow down the offense. And there was a disciplinary issue that Lincoln Riley said there was a violation, and I'm glad they're keeping that discipline. You were talking about discipline this week. I
asked the question. I guess I jinxed it almost. I'm the one that asked him, and here we go.
But that's discipline. If you stars on the team, doesn't matter. You violate a rule, you're going to sit out, even if it's probably the last game you play in the Coliseum. And I'm good to see that. But a slow start. The offensive line really looked poor, really bad. Obviously switching up. You had no Alani Noah in this game, no Elijah Page. So they really were mixing in. Mike Williams was in there, and Kaylon Miller, and they played well in the second half. But I think they needed a little time to get their feet wet and play as a unit, because it just didn't look right and early on. And again, not having Lemon and Lane in, not going to help things at all.
Yeah, the first drive, they were able to have a good drive, obviously. Go down and score a touchdown without Lemon and Lane, and they were able to run the ball. They ran the ball 7 times behind King Miller. I think 39 yards in the first drive, ended up with the touchdown, and then 0 rushing yards in that second quarter. So even with Lemon and Lane, like you mentioned, the offensive line just looked out of sync. Micah Benuelos, when he had played earlier this year, played left guard. He was now at right guard for Noah. Kaylon Miller played at left guard again, like he's done a couple games. So, it's just kind of lackluster. Defense, I thought, didn't play horrible. They get the 3 and out. There's only UCLA and USC only had 3 possessions each in the first half. Technically, USC had that fourth one, but it was 18 seconds. So that first half flew by, 3 possessions. Last thing on the negative, special teams again in the first half. Blocked field goal, missed field goal. What's going on?
I think everyone was, including myself, I'm guilty of it. We're hyping Ryan Series like he's a perfect machine. And, on the season, still solid. Had a couple misses early on, and it looked clunky. Thank goodness it was against UCLA, who couldn't really do much on offense after the second quarter.
Yeah, I was trying to watch on the block. I didn't see a replay up in the booth. I didn't see the kind of penetration the defense got. But you could tell for sure on the second attempt, he tried to sky it way high to get it over the line, and that forced him to push it right because it was not his normal kicking motion. So, unfortunate. Luckily, it didn't end up biting them because then they come out in the second half, and as this team's been all year long, Tim, just a second half football team and near flawless in the second half. Defense, 0 points yet again, including a fourth down stop at the end of the game. The game was over, but still to keep that second half shutout. How impressive is this team in the second half? I think it's really something to build upon moving into the future with what they've been able to do coming out of the break.
We talked about the offensive line, the issues, and there wasn't much of pass rush. They really weren't giving Nico a difficult time. He had plenty of time in the pocket to throw in that first half, but then they kind of came alive in the second half. Offensively, the explosive plays came out. King Miller with that big long run. Lane's going to get. It's funny. The thing is Lemon only had one catch in the game. It just happened to be for a 23 or 33 yard touchdown. So that'll get it done. Statistically, though, it was pretty flat, even on both sides. But USC came with the big plays, the explosive plays, and the timely plays. Yeah,
statistically almost dead even across. Obviously, that last UCLA drive padded the stats for them a little bit, but just over 300 yards for them, just under 400 yards for USC. Rushing yards were really close. The rushing attempts were dead on identical, 26 to 26. So fairly close in that department, as you expect in a rivalry game. And, give credit to offensive coordinator for UCLA, Jerry Neuheisel. They were doing everything really quick. The operation in there was quick, try to get the ball out of Nico's hands. And when it wasn't quick, when it wasn't open, Nico was great at evading pressure. When USC did bring some guys or get some guys loose in space, he was able to evade sacks, extend plays with his legs. There was on one drive, 2 third and longs that he extended with his legs to get a first down. So sometimes athletes are just going to make plays. And but USC was able to buckle down, schematically do some things differently, and it looked like a much better unit in that second half overall.
Yeah, schematically in the first half, it seemed like they're having trouble with the flats, right? Screen plays were we've seen it in a couple games now, but they buckled down. And again, anytime you shut out the team in the second half, like this team has been doing, so often this year, you're going to come with a lot more W's than L's.
We've talked about this a bunch, Tim, and I don't know how much you're able to see the numbers out there. That's one thing I watch up there is personnel groupings, and specifically on defense. There was a lot. It's already a young defense, and then there was multiple plays where they had D. Riddick, true freshman, out there. Obviously, Jakeem Stewart and Floyd Boucard. They were putting out Alex Graham. Obviously, got his first start at nickel as a true freshman. Matai Tagovailoa got a couple third down plays at linebacker. Yeah. How exciting is this youth movement? At least on the whole team, but specifically on defense.
Yeah, it threw us for a curve on the sidelines here. We were looking at the fact that we come on third down for Eric Gentry. We're like, wow, okay, that's an interesting move to bring a guy who's probably one of your best pass rushers, and obviously a guy that is great off the ball as well. So it was cool to see him come in. And speaking of Tagovailoa, he came in and had that hit on special teams. Just shows you what's coming. He puts on some size, you guys. He puts out a little size. He's going to be some trouble next year. So keep an eye on him. This could be fun to watch the rest of the year.
Yeah, he's got juice. You think about Tagovailoa and say it again for me. I always say it wrong. Tagovailoa.
Listen, that's not the official pronunciation, but I did get it from a source.
Well, I've heard a video of him saying it, and I've tried to embrace it in my brain, but somehow it always slips out. But yeah, he is a dynamic player. You said it. The size needs to get a little bulkier to play that true kind of backer position in the Big Ten, which is why they bring him in. They brought him on third down, third and long situations because they're passing situations where he's not going to have to, really clog the middle. But he can get after the quarterback. He can cover in space a little bit. So really interesting personnel because it was always on those third downs where all of a sudden it was all the freshmen come out. So it worked against UCLA. That would have been a little suspect against some of the better teams. But it was good to see those guys get reps because they're invaluable as you go in to now this offseason. So we'll end with the offense, then we can talk kind of big picture here, Tim, and wrap this up. Offensively, things looked a little bit more congruent in the second half. They were able to get the rhythm going. The offensive line looked much better. You mentioned some of the holes they were given for King Miller. Just what were your overall thoughts of kind of the offense in that second half?
The tight ends came to play. It kind of opened it up when the tight ends got.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
At Capella University, learning online doesn't mean learning alone. You'll get support from people who care about your success, like your enrollment specialist who gets to know you and the goals you'd like to achieve. You'll also get a designated academic coach who's with you throughout your entire program. Plus, career coaches are available to help you navigate your professional goals. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Involved, it seemed like the offense really did loosen up a bit there. There were some key plays by Lake McCree in his last game here at the Coliseum. And then you had the Roy Gage throw. You know, that was awesome for the 2-point conversion to get him in the scoreboard, in the scorebook? No, what am I going for here? Stats. Box score. There we go. And of course, it was a tight end. You had Walker Lyons catching that ball. So it was great. It was great to see the tight ends get involved. And the young receiver, you know, you saw again, Tanook Hines, he keeps showing like he's going to be, you know, he's going to be a dude next year.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, dude. And I love that 2-point conversion play. People were like, why are you doing that? You're already up. But get Roy Gage out there, maybe his final game, give him a pass. You saw how fired up he was. So, you know, I think Coach Lincoln Riley really doing things for his players. You can tell how much he loves his team, how much he loves these guys.
You got to pay them back. You got to remember, he's probably running scout team for all the years he's here. And give him a chance to get that shot. I think you know, hey, look, that guy Rudiger got his moment. You know, let's give Roy Gage his moment as well.
Yeah, at first I was like, is that Kenny Urlacher? I thought they did a number switch again. Like, what a rifle. 28. Number. But I was like, oh, Roy Gage, there you go. You know, basically scout team quarterback. So yeah, offensively look good. King Miller, man, reminds me a little. I don't know I know you don't watch a lot of NFL. He reminds me a little bit of Terrell Davis, the way he runs, his size. Obviously, 2 number 30s, so it makes a little look similar. But he doesn't look like he should be as powerful as he is. But he runs with a lot of power for that 5'11", kind of 205 frame.
You get like a Long Beach State plug in there.
There we go. Long Beach State, baby.
Yeah. And Broncos. So now we know why he brought Terrell. I like him. I had front row. We'll get the video up on it. I mean, he just came right at us with that run. It was great to see, like you said, them get the hole. If you give King a hole and a crease, he's going to use his speed. He's going to get to the end zone. That's something exciting to watch. You know, that kind of a weapon you need to help stretch these defenses and make them honest. Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. Well, we'll look big picture. We have a lot of time to talk big picture for this season, so we'll keep it kind of brief tonight. Before we get to kind of the press conference and Lincoln Riley and his big picture. How excited are you for this team? I know this is not where fans want this team to be, but still a 9-3 season. The way they won some close games, the way they were able to do it in the Big Ten, the way they were doing it in some road weather games. Obviously didn't win the big ones against Oregon and Notre Dame and had the bummer loss at Illinois, but I thought overall good direction. But how do you feel about this team after this season?
I feel if they can keep some of the offensive linemen intact, that's going to be something really special too. Like, for instance, you know, Elijah Page is up in the air. Is he coming back next year? A guy like that. Or you talk about having, is Jacoby Lane coming back next year? Those are icing on the cake. I think these guys are solid, but it'd be hard to say that, you know, you're going to lose guys like Lemon and Lane and possibly Mayava and possibly Elijah Page and not take a major step back. I know the young guys are good and up and coming, but man, you know, I just it's hard to see those guys go. They're difference makers. We didn't realize how much losing, you know, we got back Caleb Williams, but losing Jordan Addison, how much that really hurt USC. You guys don't realize how much Lemon really bailed this team out this year, and so they're going to need to find that guy. I think Tanook's kind of work his way into that role, but kind of hard to replace those guys. But big picture, I mean, we're trending up. You know, USC is definitely trending up. There's no question about it.
Yeah, 100%. I think so wholeheartedly, and we'll dive in deeper. But I think they showed a lot of grit, a lot of different ways to win this season, which is what you want to see, especially after kind of the negatives of last season in that department. So, you know, in the press conference after, we streamed it live. You can watch it here if you haven't already on the USC LAFB YouTube channel. But, you know, I thought Lincoln Riley was very emphatic about his excitement for this team, for this program. Wasn't asked about it, but was very intentional in continually saying, like, I'm excited about where we're going. Like, this team has set the foundation. This is an important team for where this thing is going. All the rumors are out there, obviously, with all the coaching carousel, and it's probably going to get wild for the rest of college football here tomorrow and the next 48 hours. But USC seems like it's set with what's happening in the future.
Yeah, nothing with his messaging, nothing with what they have going with their program, with the new facilities, with the NIL rolling. He used the phrase that this is the team that's paving the way for this program to move forward. He said this isn't the best team you're going to see here at USC. He says, but it's an important team. And he pointed back to that. This is the team that's laying the foundation, as you said. And I think they're happy to say what they got.
Yeah, I think he said this isn't the best team you'll see, but it is the most important team because of how they were able to overcome from last year to set the real framework and skyrocket this thing into where it's going to be, hopefully. So any closing remarks? You know, a fun 2025 season. I was glad to do it with you all season. Obviously, we'll be here all offseason doing plenty more. But our last game in the Collie until next fall, which is always a bummer. Any final thoughts?
No, it's just it went so fast. It always does, right?
It just flew by.
Just goes so fast every time. But we still have a bowl game. I'm hoping, something close. All right.
I'm here at Alamo Bowl, but we'll see.
But maybe a road trip, a big road trip to like a 20-hour drive, whatever that would be. I don't know.
We do a Texas road trip.
There we go. Why not? Let's do it.
Hey, Trojan family, thank you so much for hanging out and watching the USC LAFB show. Before you go, let me tell you quickly about our friends over at Sleeper. Go right now, download the Sleeper app. It's the #1 sports app, not just for season-long fantasy, but they've got live pickers, they've got live stat updates, they've got a chat you can chat with other users, plus the daily pick'em, which is a blast, or daily fantasy, whatever you want to call it. You go and pick 2 to 8 players across any sports. If you're talking USC, go choose J.D. Maiava in his next matchup. Pick more or less passing yards, more or less touchdowns. You stack those, and you can win real money. When you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code USC LAFB. You're going to get a match deposit up to $100. Put in $100, you get $100 free to play with from Sleeper. Put in $10, they'll match you that $10. So now you're sitting at $20 to play with. But also right now, for any new users, no deposit required. You get $20 free entry. You can stack both. You can get the $20 for free. Go make a deposit. Use USC LAFB. And now you've got a bunch of free money to play with right there on the Sleeper app. Check it out, Trojan family. And when you do, tell them the guys at the USC LAFB sent you.
At Capella University, learning the right skills could make a difference. That's why our business programs teach you relevant skills you can take from the course room to the workplace. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
And now, Superhuman Shaq.
I keep telling them not to say that. I'm no superhuman. Believe it or not, I struggle with moderate obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA. In adults with obesity, moderate to severe OSA is a condition where breathing is interrupted during sleep with loud snoring, choking, gasping for air, and even daytime fatigue. Let's just say it can sound a lot like this. Sound familiar? Learn more at don'tsleeponosa.com.
This information is provided by Lilly, a medicine company.
'Tis the season of gifting and halls to deck, and the who's and who Newville were in love with new tech. Where can we find Sonos and Samsung and Nintendo, they shouted. Would they find it in one place? This they questioned and doubted. When suddenly a who yelled, Walmart's the place to start! And each who added headphones, TVs, and games to their carts. With Walmart, their shopping was done in a flurry. They cried out, who knew? And ordered their gifts in a hurry. Shop the latest tech gifts in the Walmart app.
This is a real good story about Bronx and his dad, Ryan, real United Airlines customers.
We were returning home, and one of the flight attendants asked Bronx if he wanted to see the flight deck and meet Captain Andrew.
I got to sit in the driver's seat.
I grew up in an aviation family, and seeing Bronx kind of reminded me of myself when I was that age.
That's Andrew, a real United pilot.
These small interactions can shape a kid's future.
It felt like I was the captain.
Allowing my son to see the flight deck will stick with us forever.
That's how good leads the way.
The best TV comes in many forms, from real-life mysteries to blockbuster dramas, family favorites, and buzzworthy reality shows. Philo makes it easy to stream them all with one simple, affordable subscription. For just $33 a month, Philo offers more than 70 live channels, including favorites like AMC, A&E, MTV, Discovery, and Nickelodeon, plus on-demand TV like the entire AMC Plus library. Whatever the mood, there's always something new to uncover. Philo subscribers also get access to HBO Max Basic with ads and Discovery Plus at no extra cost, along with unlimited DVR that saves shows for up to a year. No long contracts, no complicated setup, just endless entertainment ready to stream anytime. Ready for a better way to bundle all the TV you love? Get started at philo.tv. That's PHILO.tv. Your next obsession is waiting.